Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Pacific Drive, where today we are, in theory, headed toward Red Meadow up here, the Red Meadow Research Facility, for stuff, for reasons, for whatever. But the only way we have of getting there now takes us mostly through Outer Zone, right? And the fact is, we need a lot of mid-zone materials. We need tree candy, we need coral, we need eggs, we need just a whole lot of stuff that we can't find there. So I think what I am inclined to do instead is check out this junction here, C3. We can build an understanding of a way that gets to Red Meadow while spending more time in the mid-zone, and also it looks like this probably connects into the next level of the wall, which is information we'll probably need, later. But also, I just really want to spend some time at mid-zone locations and gather resources. I spent some time on the car. I've put us pretty much back together. We even have a couple of armored doors now, which is pretty slick. And I think... So that's the destination point. If I run a scanner here... So it'll make either one of these the final destination if I go there, right? Like I can't go E6 to C4 to C3, right? I think that's a thing we learned in the past. But before we go out, I do want to mess with our quirks. I did notice while I was fixing up the car and putting on the roof rack, and check this out, installing a new trunk in the trunk, you might be noticing, hey, that's visually significantly smaller than the set of boxes that were holding things in there before. Is it actually less space? No, it's more space. It's definitely a Yoshi's stomach kind of situation, but you'd be right to be concerned because it is definitely a visually much smaller internal space than what we had before. But while I was messing with it and stuff, I did notice this. So that's back, and we got other problems. Let's just spend a minute here with the Tinker Toy. So we now know that when the trunk is closed, the horn honks. That's annoying. Good guess. Thanks. I thought so too. That would require an electrician's kit to fix. Well, it turns out we have one of those. We have a couple of those. Alright. Apparently we have 5 other quirks right now, including the ones with the lights and the wipers, and I don't really know what to do with either of them. So here's a question. When the wipers toggle, I wonder if it's... I'm just realizing that there's something I don't think we tried before. Three of 4 correct. Okay. So getting on... I bet what's happening here is getting on an incline is switching on the wipers, and then the dome light is responding to the wipers turning on, not to the incline itself. 3 of 4 correct. So we know that it's this. We know that columns 1, 3, and 4 were correct, because when column 2 changed, the number of correct guesses stayed correct. Jeez, when wiper goes left, that's a goofy fucking... Like, why would there need to be wiper moves left or moves right in addition to stays on or switches on? Those are all the same thing. Okay. I'm not saying that the shine is coming off of this game for me, but there's definitely a lot of design here that's just like, yeah, it's like that because it would suck for it to be like that. Haha. Okay, so car is on an incline, so wipers switch on? That's the thing? No, that's 2 of 4. But which 4? Or which 2? Sorry. Okay, that's 3. So that being correct means wipers was correct. So, like, yeah, this is a great example. Car moves uphill, car is on an incline. These are not different things. They're just here to make you, they're just here to make you waste extra guesses. Okay, a mechanic's kit and an electrician's kit. Well, we have those in the back, so. And then apparently there's 3 more things wrong with the car right now. But I don't know what they are. So I guess we're going to discover some stuff. Oh, that's right. The doors aren't closing correctly. Right? We've seen plenty of that. Out of curiosity. Aha. Okay, I think that's definitely one. Honestly, it might be any... Hold on. Because we were having a hard time with the we're having a hard time with the driver's door staying open too. I guess it looks to me like its trunk closes. Left rear door opens. Falls off would be a pretty bad penalty, actually. Okay. We're doing okay work here. That would require a mechanic's kit, which I have finally run out of. Can I build one right here? No, because we've run out of scrap metal. Well, you know, honestly, that's just not even a big deal. As far as anomalies go. That one doesn't seem like a problem at all. How big is the roof storage? Yo! Nice! Alright, I'm excited about that. I think we got everything we need then. Oh. Before we go. We have 2 corrodable gold shells. These are both things that we should be able to destroy in the new area. We also found this secured gold shell. I don't know what to do with this. It has a thicker metallic outer layer, it says. Yeah, I'm uncertain how we would interact with that, but I am certain what to do with these. So let's just go ahead and bring these along. You know what? I'm going to throw them in the upper rack. And I think with that, let's do it. Probably turn the car on before pulling out of drive or out of park. Whatever, it's all good. And aside from the like door change out, nothing else significantly is different. We have all the same abilities. We have the same. We have the extra roof rack, but we have the same side racks and stuff. So, all right, pretty sure we want to go through E6. E6 seems fine. Now, it does look to me like the point of interest we're headed toward is... It's got a different little symbol to the right of the circle than the swampy areas that we were in. So my understanding is that symbol is the terrain type. Right? It's a tree in most of the outer zone areas. So that might not be a swamp. I don't know what to expect there. Okay, this is that one... We know what that recording is, right? This is that one recording that we have heard. So I think we can pretty much just book it through here. It'd probably be a good idea to grab... Huh. Hold on now. That's a higher quality of vehicle than we usually see out here. An abandoned squire with armored doors. Oh man, I didn't create that what's it called? The Vindicator. Not the Vindicator, the tool that cuts off whole parts of cars. And yeah, you can't make one here anyway. So I guess I'm just cutting that panel open. Alright, lots of metal, which we need pretty badly. Got our fancy new plasma scrapper here, which certainly gets the job done pretty quickly. The name, it starts with V, I'm pretty sure. But the name is, you know, it's appropriate to the fact that you're freeing the part from the car instead of just destroying it. Ooh, thermostat crystals. I just can't remember what it is now. Wow, yeah, this stuff breaks down into a lot of valuable little pieces. Alright, so whatever's going on with the driver's side door, I'm assuming it feels to me like it wasn't happening until the car was already pretty damaged. Alright, apologies, I am gonna stop a lot for metals in the early going here. We are still pretty desperate for them. It's a fair amount of fuel there as well. Boy, it is not necessarily the most awesome way to farm metal, though, is it? I don't know. I guess we need a lot of it. And also, like, sometimes we're getting extra gear or plates, which is just, like, finding a lot of extra metal. We are still pretty plasma short as well, if I'm not mistaken. So let's, these cars have a lot of fuel. I mean, not a lot, but, you know, a lot relative to the 0 that I'm expecting. I don't want to waste too much time on this because I do want... We're going to need some time to look at the anchors. I don't want to go into the last area on no anchor energy, obviously. That is kind of a lot of fuel. You know, I have just been leaving the car on. Okay. I don't know to what degree the car door being just like sitting there open is going to be a problem. So that's a wiggling rack for sure. Now that it's done that, can I just... Yeah, okay. I should probably stop pulling off for things and make sure we get to the anchors. Didn't quite manage to avoid that. I wonder if getting tagged by those things like causes your car to gain quirks, or if it just happens sometimes. Feels a little bit like cheating because with these graphic settings, we see the wiggling wrecks from really far away. I'm not as I'm probably not as turned up as the game developers would like me to be. And so we're getting the dark energy from the wriggling wrecks projecting itself through the fog quite clearly. Okay, that's a lot of tourists. And a lot of big, heavy footsteps just behind the car, it sounded like. So I'm not looking. I don't want to know what might have been behind the car. Yeah, in theory I should be getting out and checking each of these racks, right? It just doesn't feel like a very good idea. Or a very good use of my time, frankly. You know what? I'm just gonna get out and run for it. It's supposed to be over here, up on the level. Like, we could drive the car all the way around, but also it's probably not necessary. Especially since they're visible from such a long distance, you don't even really have to start off in the right direction. So we haven't spent much time talking about the structure of the thing that happened, where the game directed us back toward an already completed mission just in order to leave the zone again. But it is weird, right? I'm not being weird in thinking that it is weird. I would understand if there were still plot points to hear. And I would understand if it was going to make me actually do the whole thing in one run, which is naturally why I assumed that the fact that we were being directed back there meant that I had to do it all in one run. To force us back into the zone just so that we can get there and immediately leave. It definitely strikes me as bizarre. Okay. Pretty close, actually. So here's a question. do I think I can scramble up the hill and grab this one in the same way? And the answer is I am going to attempt it. Okay. I mean, it's pretty much just directly away from the car. I mean, the hill doesn't look all that steep. I think as long as we, like, pick our angles here, pick our lines, this should be doable. And this is going to be a lot faster than driving all the way around the zone, like approaching the zone from the other side to do this. And I think I want to get up to the plateau before I really start looking around for it, for obvious reasons. You can kind of hear it, actually. Yeah. Everything in the zone makes a noise. Alright, we can take a much more direct path down than we took up, that's for sure. And that's the storm warning, but we're actually really close to the recommended exit, so shouldn't be an issue. And check out that spooky cabin in the woods over there. So that's got us on 2.2 clim, I believe. We only need 2 to be able to leave at the end of the thing, so. Taking a lot of pressure off of ourselves for the final node with a little bit of preparation. Alright, I really do want to get to spend some time in the swamp. So if we go here, I think it'll just complete our mission. And this is the Myers. Over here we have the Scorch. And this might be actually not at all what I'm looking for. I guess this will be a good opportunity to get an eye on the Scorch for the first time. I mean, given the name, you certainly wouldn't think that it would have a lot of tree candy or coral or eggs necessarily. So we may discover that none of the resources that we want are available in this place. But we were going to have to figure out what the Scorch was sooner or later, right? So, okay, 2 big anchors. Not much of a zone, actually. This is going to be a pretty short one. It still looks kind of swampy. It still looks very swampy. I mean, I think I'm just going to leave the car here, right? I would like to get close enough to that to get to scan it. Every specific kind of vehicle we can encounter needs a scan. You are some kind of bouncing nightmare, friend. A moldy balloon. Okay. By whose nomenclature? That seems like a not correct one to me. It's weird, I don't have a mark for that, but like We've definitely seen that thing before. Here it's called a spike log instead of just being spiky ground. And I guess that's what we're pretending is different. Gross. That's another one of those trees. I probably should have emptied my inventory before coming out here. I have to admit, I do think that a bollard came up underneath you with no warning, and so you dropped the thing, is kind of whack. Like, there could be some gameplay there, right? There could be a visible, there could be a thing to watch out for and a thing to avoid. And instead, it's just like, oops, sometimes a ball fall down. What on earth? How is that? How did that happen? Clearly it thought I pressed a button that... I don't know what the fuck button that would be. Why that button would exist, but that is not what I was trying to do. Okay. The other one is... So we got the one that was further toward the front of the car. The other one will be in this direction, roughly. And yeah, we wanted to come back and check out the tree anyway. What kind of shell do you have? Combustible. Okay, well, that ain't exactly rocket surgery. This doesn't need to be in my hands. Cool, cool. Love a hot zone. Burp bunnies we have scanned. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to just tough this out. But I figured trying to go around them seemed like a pain. Fastest way out is just straight through, right? We can just eat cat food in the car. And then we get all that, twisted ember. We get all that sweet, sweet scrap metal, too. Delicious. Well, it said hand vac was the recommended gathering tool for this. Let's see. What is it that I'm gathering? Oh, okay. The branches of this thing are the tree candy. That's good to know. Those are not tree candy. Okay, so we gotta look for pretty specific kinds of trees. And there's a lot of little branches coming off of a lot of different trees around here. I'll hold on to this for the moment here. I guess we don't necessarily have to spend a lot of time sticking around. Now that I have discovered that this is probably not the kind of place that I can get the things I most need, which is to say coral and eggs. And we have gotten all of the unstable energy out of it. But obviously we want to get a little closer to the gateway site before we go. setting it off. And we can keep an eye out for some other things. There's probably some other new anomalies to learn about in this place. I could probably break open those corrodable gold shells with the moldy balloons. Might be worth a try. I think I'm going to back the car up a little bit more than that, though. Okay. So let's pass that over. This and this and this, I guess, as well. Oh, there we go. Clicked to put that in my hands because I wanted it in my hands. So I just need to get kind of close to one of the goo projectiles. But it will only... Ah, here we go. I guess they get a different reading. They're called rotten eggs. And they do the thing. That's interesting that they get rotten. They get their own name. Okay, that's cool and everything. I don't really, let me just put it on the ground. Alright, I can... Hey, try to do this while I'm, you know, surrounded by dangerous things. Come on, don't evaporate. There we go. Okay, cool. I think we're gonna leave, honestly. Like, I'm taking a lot of damage. This place seems like a total bummer. But we learned something about terrain types. So how close do we have to get to this? Okay. Let's drive up a little bit more before we set it off. Cool. That particular electrical field really scrambled my steering. Oh, wait. I think... Yeah, that's totally one of those trees. That's kind of neat. I do think that's pretty satisfying to do. This is probably the spot to fire the thing. I do think we were just about on the edge. I have deployed the get off of my car ability. A couple of times there. That hit the battery, for sure. It is kind of funny that the rotten eggs somewhat frequently look like animals. They often have like a sort of a beak-like suggestion. Wonder what that's about. I probably don't need those anymore. I do worry that I am fucking the car up a little faster than usual, it seems like, by driving into all of these tiny plants. It is kind of neat for the swamp to have two flavors. You have like your acid swamp and your fire swamp. Unfortunately, it really seems like a lot of the stuff we're desperate for is acid swamp only. And I probably could have opened up the combustible gold shell somewhere in there. But whatever. We reduced our overall number of gold shells. We came back with 4 more unstable energy.
Good this time?
Pretty good. Overall, I'm calling it a success. And frankly, I need like a couple of small short-range successes. I was feeling pretty bad about things there. Whew. Okay, yeah, we're in decent shape. All right, I think that's where I'm going to call it. I'm just going to go ahead and accept a nice short victory for today. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're going to try to delve a little deeper, but also, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll just go back to the acid swamp and get some of those ingredients that I thought I was going to be gathering today. I don't know. Come back next time to find out. And we'll see you then.